This is your official Legz spoiler warning. If you have not seen The Take, a 2007 drama film, and you've always wanted to know what it's all about, we will be spoiling it. So make sure you get out of here. But always come back after you've watched. Get out of here.
But also, if you're fine with spoilers,
come back to mama.
Have a listen.
Yeah, if you don't care about spoilers, that's fine.
Jeez. I hate the word.
Hello and welcome to Mish and Zach's Legz, the 8th last episode ever of the podcast, where two friends watch everything
of the series,
of the Legz podcast.
If that was how you were going to tell me that the Mish and Zach podcast is over, that would be horrific for me.
Yeah, no, I'm done after this. You can process that after. We'll talk about it. Yeah. No, I meant the Mission. Legz, I think of as like a separate podcast on the same RSS feed. Yeah. To get technical. We are in the last 8 weeks of the Legz show. Concept, whatever we want to call it, and we are listing off our favourites, but we have watched everything. We are two friends that have watched everything we got our hands on, starring John Leguizamo, and now we are listing our favourites. My name is Zachary Ruane, and my favourite, the chocolates.
Yep.
Is probably Caramello.
Okay.
Yeah, Caramello, or maybe a little Mars bar.
Oh, that's nice.
I'm joined by Mish Wittrup, whose favourite is...
Picnic?
Yeah, great choice. Mish, would you like to announce... I mean, they've seen it in the title, but let's do it like it's announced.
Let's chat. I'm so excited for this.
Would you like to announce our number 8? In the top 8.
Well, as mentioned on Tuesday's episode of the Mish and Zach podcast, but also in the spoiler warning, we are chatting about The Take.
There has been so many, we've said it so many times. I'm so sorry to have tried to structure that like an announcement.
No, that's fine. I think we could have just ridden through. That's fine.
No, I'm just thinking it
I have a
through.
blurb for you though.
I can't wait to hear your blurb.
Here we go. The Take is a 2007 thriller drama directed by Brad Furman from the Lincoln Lawyer fame.
Lincoln Lawyer.
Right?
Link.
This film follows hard-working family man Felix who, while working a night shift, is kidnapped, shot in the head and framed for a crime.
My God.
Despite a bullet in his brain, Felix survives and upon discovering he has been set up for robbery, sets out to find the real culprit despite having no memory of the event.
Yeah.
John plays Felix.
Yes.
The lead role in this film. And a thank you. This was... When we did this originally, it was episode 40. So it was very early on in Leguizamo days. Whew. Okay.
So this was, I would say, of all the films, this was the most pleasant surprise of all the films. Because I was expecting nothing. He did a lot of like middle of the road thrillers around this time. All of the marketing pitched it as that.
At this period, though, in 2007, it was a time where movies were getting churned out.
Yeah. It was a real. It had real straight to DVD thriller vibes, and I remember both of us settling in to go, all right, here we go. And then I can't remember the podcast, but I think we were both probably like,
well, for me, so people are like, why is this in the top? 8. Let me explain, dear listener, why this is in the top 8 for us, right?
Because it's good.
It's because for me, this was the first time that I went, oh, he isn't just a character actor.
Yes.
It was the first, because Zach and I obviously were in love with this man for a long time. And I always loved his Toulouse, and I loved his, Romeo and Juliet stuff. And I loved all of that. But I remember watching this, and we watched Lincoln Lawyer, I believe, 30 episodes earlier, which is Brad Furman. And I was just like, oh, what? And it sparked all the questions that really, really kind of like fueled our fire throughout the last few years, which is, why is this man not getting the leads? He is a lead actor because he is the lead in this film. He's a romantic lead, but like he's the family man or whatever, but he's an action star in this. His drama work is incredible. why is Matthew McConaughey the Lincoln lawyer and not John Leguizamo? And you can look into that for what you will. But it was the first time in our John Leguizamo careers that, for me anyway, I went,
agree with
oh
that.
my God, this is not a character actor. This is an actor.
This is a guy that because I think sometimes you go like
a leading man.
There are often films so Paris, Texas is an example. Late Night with the Devil is an example where it's a character actor getting the opportunity to lead a film, but they're still a character actor.
Yeah.
John C. Reilly holds up Dewey Cox.
Yeah.
Is a lead in that film, can be a lead, right? Because he's that good of an actor. But he's still a character actor.
Yep.
Right? Whereas Leguizamo, you watch this, you go, no, he has leading man. And he's so good in this.
It is phenomenal. And we've seen things since. That's the thing. It's like with The Take. I've seen things since watching The Take where he's just as good. Yeah. And the drama chops on this dude is outrageous. But I just think this movie gave him every opportunity to just show off his shit. And he's so good. And I have said this across the last few years in discovering what it is about John Leguizamo that makes me like him so much, is I love John doing nuance. And there is so much of that in this because of the deep physical and mental trauma of what this character has gone through and having to deal with that while also having to deal with the fact he's been set up, whatever. That it's that trying to just operate as a human being again after what he's been through. He does it so
It's a really
well.
subtle performance. I think kudos to Brad Furman as a director as well, because I think I've seen John do this in other areas. I just feel like it's a good script and good direction and him, but it's so subtle. There's just particularly around when he's there's a scene where he's trying to find the triangle. He's find the triangle.
Yeah.
And it's so to give you an idea, he gets shot in the brain. And then he survives, and it's frontal lobe, so it's personality change, and he's so he's struggling with personality change, and he's struggling with just bits and bobs, and it's the sort of performance. Here's how I would describe it. You know that thing, because I can't play drunk. I'll go on the record and say it's really hard to play drunk, and the thing that good actors always say, there's more to it than this, but they say, you don't play drunk. A drunk person is trying to be sober. And this performance has that. It's a guy whose brain isn't working all the way for him, but he's trying. And it's really good acting. It's really good acting. You know what I mean? It's because it's, I don't know, there's something about when the brain doesn't work, you can't intellectualize that. You can't go, all right, what would I do because it's the brain's not work. He doesn't know what a triangle is. Yeah. But everything else is fine. So he just plays it real. He just is what, and there's a scene where he's watching a kung fu movie. Yeah. And it sort of talks to his violence and it's about revenge and vengeance. It's and the way he watches it, it's there's a simpleness to it. It could have gone over a line, but it doesn't. It's just this is a guy who's it's so sad. He's angry and there's nothing he can do about it's that kind of realization of my situation. This is completely out of my control. There's nothing he could do about what happened to you. You know what I mean? Realizing that these big changes have happened and there's nothing that you can do. But even the frustration, I've seen it happen to people I've known, where their mental capacity changes because of an accident, right? And there is nothing sadder and nothing crueler for a person to go through, to be I know that I once could do this, but now not only can I not, it's my brain doesn't let me. Like, I can't imagine what that would be like to be inside. And
Horrific.
so often we see that from the outside in films, but it's like, here's a guy who's just like, his brain isn't working. It's
The performance is incredible.
and it's like, what did you think on the rewatch of the film as a whole, Mish?
Well, it was interesting because, like I said, we'd seen things since now. And there's a lot of it that kind of, I go, oh, well, it's very 2007. The way it is shot is very 2007.
It's like the Bleach
And there are performances outside of John's performance that I didn't love.
Yeah.
Right? And in terms of the story and stuff, like, no, but in terms of John's performance in this, I think it is the most incredible showcase of what he can do. And I will say this as well. I like the film. I still like the film. You should watch the film. I think it is really, it still makes me angry, and I won't go into this too much, of why did this film not do well but others have? Right?
Go.
No, I just want to get this out before I forget. I also just want to do a very quick shout out to Rosie Perez.
Oh, man, she's so
because
good
I love her.
She's so good in this.
She is.
I think this is when I fell in love with Rosie Perez.
She is so good in this. And we talk about chemistry. We've talked about it before in the pod about finding two people and it just works. Her and John Leguizamo have the most wonderful chemistry in this film. But beyond that, I really love how the two of them are written. I think it is such an honest portrayal of a married couple that are in love, especially before the accident as well. There's just like, they are a working family that are just trying to make it work, trying to pay the bills, like trying to keep the family together, very loving family. And it just captures it so nicely, this kind of idea of like being a team. And like, I think that she is just as good as him in this film.
I think it's such a great work of empathy. You know, I think a great film. So I think this is what I would say, right? I think it's a first film, right? I look at this movie and I go, if I were to watch this movie and I at a festival, right? And I'm not doing a podcast about John Leguizamo. I think I would have a very similar kind of emotional gut reaction, which is, fuck, John Leguizamo should be the lead in more things.
Hunch.
Rosie Perez should be in everything.
Hunch should be in everything.
Everything.
Literally, like everything.
Tyrese should be in more stuff. Like Tyrese is like a fucking so charismatic.
What a presence.
Like a presence.
Yeah.
And they make him be so goofy in fucking Fast and the Furious. But that's not what he is. So like when he's just sitting, there's a scene when he's like the location for his like house, it's sort of in the hills, but it's not Hollywood Hills. It's in like the hills of a rougher area, but it's got this like, he's the king of this place. And there's like just this one shot of him like sitting out the front of his porch, and it's always the hills in the background, and he's just got the kid sitting on his lap. And it's just like, it's fucking incredible. Like it's such a good shot. It's such a good image. It's like, and he's so like solid in it.
Incredible.
The thing I would say is, I would say all that. I would also go, I think it's Brad Furman's first film.
I believe so, yeah.
I would go, here's one to watch as a writer-director.
Yes.
I would go, oh, I can't wait to see his next film. And it was Lincoln Lawyer, which was a really good film, right? So I don't think my outrage is not so much that I haven't heard of this film. It's just a shame that like Legz gets an opportunity like this for their first film, and then in order for him to make his second film, he has to push him into second place.
But then he made another one called The Infiltrator, and in comes John again.
So clearly he loves working with John. And I think
working with
clearly
John.
would put John in the lead again if he could, but it's the money men.
Yeah.
The thing I was just going to say... Oh, sorry, you go.
No, I just wanted to talk again on Brad Furman because we're just on him working with John a lot. And I can see why he loves John so much. Like, I just want to... Because we're not, like, spoiler, it's not in our top 8. That idea of John does nuance so good. Better than any actor I see.
Can talk... Yeah.
I just want to do a quick shout, just because we're wrapping up Leguizamo Rama.
This is going to be
shout outs throughout.
I was just realised this is like 2 weeks of us having a great time, but the episode, I hope you enjoy us. We're just going to be like 2 months, of us having a great time, but you're just going to be like us talking about how
No,
sick
because
shit
I
was.
genuinely want people who have listened to Leguizamo Rama to jump in and be like, oh, I loved this about this movie
go
and
watch
stuff.
these ones.
Please, it's so fun. Little shout out to Infiltrator. which is a Brian Furman, about the nuance, because there is a scene in that movie that I still think about all the time where John, spoiler warning, John has gone in as like an undercover with a mate of his, and he's undercover and his mate gets shot in the head and he has to act like it doesn't matter that his mate, or he's unfazed by his mate getting shot in the head because he's undercover. And it is just like, I think about it, it makes me cold. Like, he's so good at nuance, and Brad Furman just picks up on that so well and just lets John, like, I just think
he's a great actor's director when I think about it.
Truly, though, truly.
Like, really good at...
Bobby Cannavale in this as well is so
really
good.
He I think he's good at casting, but I don't know what it is. I wonder if it's what he's doing on set or how he does an edit, because I think, like, I get the sense... Don't know. But I get the sense John is the sort of actor that comes in with big offers.
Yeah.
But doesn't give a shit if you pull it back. Like, he's just like, here's my offers. And I just think the way that Brad Furman works with him, like, it's just a beautiful performance.
Well, I mean, truly, it's crazy to think that this is Toulouse-Lautrec in Moulin Rouge and then this character. Like, it's just... so wild. This guy's range is insane. No wonder we fucking committed so much of our lives to this bloody podcast. But I also want to say this about The Take, which I think makes it unique, is that, again, around this era, so many movies were being pumped out. A lot of television movies, right? These kind of action dramas or thriller dramas. But this one in particular... just really, and then I don't love them, to be honest with you. Like kind of, and you have said previously as well that kind of early noughties drama is not my favourite genre. But every once in a while, like, I can still love something within the genre. And this one just really got me. And maybe it was because I wasn't prepared for it too, but it just is one of those mid-noughties dramas that I really, really enjoy.
Well, I think partly because I think the thriller elements are the least interesting parts.
Yeah.
It's the fact that it goes so deep into the drama aspect of it that is so powerful. Do you know what it is? I think it's also Brad Furman. I think he's in this category, right, where it's like Brad Furman is one, but, like, I'm trying to think of other... I probably haven't watched enough films in this genre. But Paul Greengrass does different stuff, but is an interesting example, right? Paul Greengrass, who did Bloody Sunday and United 93, which I haven't seen, but he also did the Bourne films.
Yep.
And it's really interesting because, like, he makes movies, shoots them like documentaries. He started in documentary. He shoots movies like documentaries. But then because of Bourne, you had... 100 directors rip off his style, but not know there's, like, nuance and choices, and, like, you can't just add a couple of crash zooms and, like, handheld, and there's also a balance. Like, his films are shot like documentaries, so when it's a talking scene, the camera's quite still. It only goes crazy when it's a action scene, whereas a lot of the people that ripped him off, the cameras were going crazy all the time. And I think there's something in this as well, like, it seems like it's shooting for realism. It seems like it's shooting for thriller. But then, like, this image of Tyrese with the hills behind him and the shoe holding, like, with a child sitting on his lap feels effortless. But that's like a painterly picture. Like, that is saying so much. And it's that kind of, like... I kind of really respect filmmakers that have the ability to... paint beautiful pictures and are really deep diving into some deep ideas, but they're hiding it with, like, simplicity,
like
or even a machismo.
Yeah,
like, you know, you can watch this film on one level, but there's more to it. It makes me, it's a really good film. It's like I said, it's a really promising first feature, you know,
100%.
But I think it's cool, and I think his performance. I think Rosie Perez. It's just a great film,
truly, and a very, very worthy owner of the 8th spot. I think.
Yes,
just makes me real happy.
Do you have any other thoughts? I think this is okay if this is a shorter episode.
I would. My main thing that I probably want to put out there about this, if I never speak about the take on a podcast again,
I'd be shocked if you did ever again,
is that it is I think of all of his movies, from my experience having watched everything he's ever fucking done, it was the first time, like I said at the top of this podcast episode, the first time I recognised the ability of this actor. And not only that, but in this discussion now, what Brad Furman can do for the actors that he's got as well, I think is just so great.
If you're sitting here going, why do they fucking love this guy so much? You'll hear more as we move on as to what drew us to him. This is the kind of film, this is the film that goes like, this is he's a great actor.
Phenomenal. And I am so glad I had a reason, because to be honest with you, I have thought about, this is my final thing on the take. Since watching it at episode 40, 150 years ago, I have thought about rewatching this film.
Yeah.
And that doesn't happen all the time, right? It does not happen with all of the stuff that we've watched in my life, not just John Leguizamo stuff. But I have thought, oh God, when the podcast ends, I will rewatch the take again because it had such an impact. And so when we decided to do this top 8, I was like, this bitch better get in the top 8. And here she is. And what a joy to talk about her again, to be honest with you. I love that we're doing a top 8. It's just like reinvigorated me.
It's so good. It's good to just watch good stuff.
Yeah.
My final thoughts are, I think on second viewing, I loved this movie more. I think I loved it on the first viewing, but I was so like taken by the surprise of it being good that I was kind of, and that framing of like, oh, it's a promising first feature, that I sort of in memory like probably downgraded it as that. But on the rewatch, just wonderful, 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 wonderful performance.
Truly.
Performances.
Truly.
Like just beautiful and empathetic performances. This is the thing I think I would say is there's a good film where we're empathetic to Rosie Perez's character and not his. There's a good film where we're empathetic to his character and not hers. The fact that both of these characters, I just love both of them equally, and I want both of those characters to get through this equally.
It truly,
and it goes to dark places there.
100%. And it is a thriller drama or whatever, but it is a love story as well.
But the drama goes dark.
Yes.
But it's just like it's about empathy. It's like let's just feel it, let's just empathize.
But you said it about 10 minutes ago as well. It never crosses the line. And it feels like it could. It feels like it could cross the line into kind of like, shitty territory, but it never does. It keeps honest. It stays honest.
I also thought there was just things in it that, it's funny because it's the sort of movie that you see stuff like this happen, right? You see bank robberies and there's lots of like tropes. But I think it breaks the tropes in really interesting ways, particularly him getting shot in the head. Like when he gets shot in the head, that's just like I remember the first time I watched it, I'm like, oh, who's the main character then?
Yeah.
Is this about Rosie Perez? Because you're just like, when people get shot in the head, they die.
Yeah.
And it's like, in real life, often they die, sometimes they don't. And sometimes they go through this. And it was just like, there's just these moments in the film where it's like the film trope versus the truth.
Yeah.
Really interesting choices. Great film. I give it 5 Leguizamo's.
Well, I think that's the thing. We're not going to do Leguizamo. Assume that this top 8, they've all got.
They're all Leguizamo-ramas.
But what a joy. I can't wait to tell you what we're doing for number 7, but you have to wait till next week. Thanks so much for joining us. Let us know what you think of the take. I would love to hear what people think of this film.
We would love your take on the take.
And hey, you know what? We love you.
We love you.
Okay, bye.
The Mish and Zach Podcast is recorded on the lands of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. We believe that our collective culture will never reach its full potential until we embrace the history and the truth of the oldest cultures of this land.